Soul Family. Okay, sorry. I didn't get doing our reading yet because I'm like checking out all of these little living in a freaking bus on a little tiny house adventure. I'm just like, oh my god, you guys, if you're looking at my page, you're laughing because I'm infected. My girlfriend's like, oh, you got the bug, and I'm like, that's it, man. I freaking love that idea. I so love the idea. Okay, we are going to hold on. We're gonna light some sage up on this mother. Yeah, we are. Oh, I'm just sitting here going, I can't handle this. Like, I freaking can't handle this. This is just amazing. You know? Motorhomes are one thing, but an old school bus? That's just incredible looking. Oh, gosh. All right. Back to the subject at hand. So, yeah, the weekly reading is already proving itself to be very true. To many, many people are calling me and saying, yep, exactly what you were picking up. I'm dealing with that. I'm thinking, check it out. This is like what I was talking to you guys about, how a sequoia, like the trees burn from the inside and the outside continues to grow. It's kind of like these sage wands. Got to be careful that you're burning equally on the outside, right? Because if you don't dampen it out, it'll continue to burn on the inside. You got to make sure that you take it over to the sand and you put it out, because so I'm burning the outside to catch up because I didn't get that done. I let it burn, and the inside burned up. It continued to burn when I wasn't aware of it. Just like I was saying before, how people can have issues going on inside that you're not aware of. You know, the inside's burning up on the outside. Ooh, that can be a really positive thing too. They can be somebody showing you a very cool exterior, but inside they're burning. They're on fire for you. Yeah, baby. All right, let's get this going here. Alrighty. Now, where are we going to go today? Shadows and light is the first thing I'm getting. Okay, angels, we're going to put you to the side because it's shadows and light. Excuse me, boob shot. Oops. I'll go the other way. We didn't need that to happen, did we? Okay. I hope that didn't reveal too much. Okay, shadows and light, shadows and light. This is my, this is one of my favorites. Haven't used this one for a little while. It's kind of a dark deck, right? Sometimes they're a little bit creepy looking. That's not... Yeah, they are. Sometimes they are. Connect for neutrality on all levels. Connect for neutrality. What is it that you want us to know? So this is just today. We had our weekly reading. So we already know that we got a lot of stuff going on today and tomorrow. Wednesday, someone's going to come in, someone's going to come to the rescue or give us some advice. Thursday, we've got the female energy as well. So allies coming together, male and female. Then we've got reason for celebration, things looking really good, because we've got Friday, we have, what do we have? Fulfillment, right? And then celebrations on Saturday and Sunday. So it's looking really good. Correct for neutrality on all levels. That one. Ooh, alrighty then. Well, Mildew Fairy. So, mildew is caused from too much water. So the first thing that comes up is emotion, because water is emotion. So you see this little girl and she's holding on to her mildew bubble. It's a mildew bubble. And Spirit is saying it's time to clean up this emotion that's hanging around you, whatever it is, this unnecessary. You're dwelling on stuff that you shouldn't be dwelling on. Okay, you're caught up. You know, mildew can be good and mildew can be bad. Okay, because mildew can also be, it's like blue cheese, right? Some cheese you get mildew on it, you're yuck. But then there's blue cheese that's made of that. It's amazing. And then also, it's what I'm thinking of, like when you make that. What is that? What is that? Cleansing tea that my mom used to make with a big mushroom inside. It was literally made from a fungus growing inside of it, and then it's this, I can't think of what it's called. You guys all know what it's called. So that's helpful. That's a really good, you know, people pay for it. They like it. They go and get specialty drinks made of this giant mold thing growing in the center of it, right? And when my mom used to make it, I'd be like, oh my god, that's so disgusting. But it was actually something that was really good for me. And then mildew, of course, you think about in your home, if there's mildew growing, that's negative. So you could literally have a message about that. Check your bathroom. Is there mildew growing? That's not safe for you. It's bad for the environment. I'm thinking about my fish tank, Merlin. I went yesterday. I'm going to show you guys. I went and Panu's tank is awesome. Panu's my Siamese fighting fish. Hi, Panu. Hi, baby. He's gotten so big. So his tank it's very, very clean, right? He's got come here, baby. He's got fresh water. Come here, baby. Up, 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 up. He's always wanting so much food. Woo! He's gotten so big, I have to be careful not to feed him too much. I always feed my animals too much. And Merlin, I came in here, and he's got a brackish water tank. So it's partly salt water and part fresh water together. It's not fully salt, and it's not, where are you? He's behind there. So I redid his tank because he had mildew, kind of like mold growing on the plants, and I had to clean that up for him. And I decided to give him a more natural environment because he's very shy. And it was like, it had all these plastic plants that were like, you know, sunken treasure and all this stuff in it. And I thought, you know what, that's not him. He needs to be comfortable in his environment. So I brought some natural stones from outside. But see, I can see on the tank, I need to clean this. So that's a message for me. I just wanted to show you. There he is underneath there. We'll give you a little peek at him. I touched him yesterday. I pet him. He also needs a bigger house. See, look at him. He's literally from here to here. He needs a bigger house. So not only does he need a bigger house, I need a little place of my own too. Okay, so the thought is, that was a message to me. There may be a reason that I showed you that. I don't know right now what it is, but I'll think of it later. You know how I get messages afterwards. But his tank, I need to make sure that he doesn't have, and you know, I got to clean the algae. So that's an algae. So water, algae, emotion, mildew. What do you need to do in your house? Because it can breed parasites. You know, it can make people sick. It can make him sick. So that's a message from me, but also for you, even in your own home. Are there leaking pipes somewhere? Then I think about leaking pipes, and I think about, you know, are you leaking emotion where you shouldn't be, and it's pooling up? You know, is it because you're not expressing yourself, and so there's like a slow leak? So you need to express yourself, is what I'm getting. And stagnant emotion, which is mildew. That's when it's stuck. It's like pooling up, and you're not allowing it to come out. So, ooh, look at that. Isn't that bitchin'? Can you guys see that? The stream of smoke going up there. I get off on that. Oops, sorry, I disturbed it. It's so cool looking. Well, I'm looking at that. That's a message in itself. A steady stream. Oh, and I have to remember that's burning from, now it's burning from the outside, so that's okay. Now, I thought about that. Remember I said somebody's burning up on the inside, and it's hollowing them out, and the outside they look fine, so something's burning up on the inside, but you're not expressing it. Right now I look at my minutes as this is counting, and it's 7:47, which means flight. It's time to make movement, time to speak, right? They want you to freshen up your environment, whether it's your physical home, whether it's your mental house, whether it's your fish tank, whether it's your bathroom. Maybe you just need to clean your house, and Spirit's saying, you know what, get on this. It's, you know, you don't want it to get out of control. But there's things that are a little bit over emotional if we're talking about emotions here. And you need to get some new fresh air to liven things up. Bring some fresh air into the situation. Maybe a fresh point of view on the, like me, I'm looking at these freaking buses, and I'm like, at first I thought, oh, this is not going to work. And then I started looking at all the different ideas that people had, and I'm thinking, you know what, maybe it is going to work. I don't know. So it's the new ideas coming in, you know. And don't cover stuff up. You can't put you can't have like an infection and not put any medicine on it, not clean it, and just bandage it up and have it, you know, festering, right? Same thing with emotions. You can't cover them up and allow them to sit there and mold, right? So there's a lot of things. Maybe there's a new approach that's needed to a situation in your life, or maybe, like I said, lurking in your cupboards or in your bathroom. Definitely because of my fish tank. That's my message. I think I need to what is it called? Get the fish filter. I have this like suction thing that goes down and cleans underneath the pebbles, because maybe it looks good on the surface, but underneath, maybe even in Panu's tank, you know, I need to check that too. So like I said, a lot of the times things may look good on the surface, but there's unhealthful energy that needs to be addressed, whether it's emotional, physical, or literal. Something that needs to be addressed. You don't rationalize it, you don't excuse it, and you don't ignore it. Otherwise it gets out of control. So all kinds of messages coming. And I'm thinking about Panu. He's in a freshwater tank, but Merlin has to live in a brackish water tank. So it's partially salty, partially fresh. So it's like blended. It's like two different, makes me think of two different ways of looking at things. two different personalities, like say my personality, I'm a fire, and say somebody who's a water sign or somebody who's got a cooler way of looking. You have two different ways of looking at things. So you have to figure out how to make the blend the environment, right? Like Merlin's tank. It's brackish water, which is part fresh and part salt. So maybe that's what you got to do. You got to figure out, maybe it's not a sickness. Maybe you just have to figure out how to blend your energies, right? Okay. Or maybe you're not in the right environment, period, and you need to get into a different environment. You know, the environment that you're in is holding a lot of stagnant emotion or unhealthy emotion. Another message. Okay. Whoops. I didn't turn this around. Hold on, let's do this. Song right now. Somebody is figuring out that, you know, they've gone through hell because of somebody else, and they've realized they're stronger than they thought they were, and they're moving on. Right? This song is called, it's called Praying. I hope you're on your knees praying. I hope your soul is changing. So, and they're still holding all the anger and resentment because of the way they were treated. You know, they've got a lot of pain, and they're saying, you know, maybe there's some things that only God can forgive. So that's something maybe you need to be working on right now. You don't have to be anyone's friend, but it doesn't help you when you aren't able to forgive what happened. You have to realize, I talked to somebody yesterday, one of my clients, and you have to realize that every situation has happened on purpose. It truly has. There's a reason for things to have happened. You came down here to play a certain role, and they played a role too. And that role has made you stronger and made you realize, you know, I recognize my own self-worth. I've recognized that I won't allow myself to be treated this way. And so they've done their job. And you say, thank you for your part in my journey, but I'm moving on, right? It wasn't a mistake. It was meant to happen. You were to learn your independence. You were to learn to speak up for yourself, and you weren't doing that before. So now you've done that. So that's what this song is. Someone's now moving on. They've recognized there's no more monsters. I've recognized my monsters. I'm not afraid of you anymore. And I'm leaving, right? I faced my monsters. There's all kinds of different ways. You got to look at the positive in it. From every horrible situation, there's a positive outcome that can happen. It's your attitude. All right, come on. Show me a card. We're just going to split it and take the top. There we go. All right. This is a powerful message. Eclipse Mermaid. All right, so right now, this is something that's going on that you can't control. Nobody can control an eclipse. When eclipse energy comes forward, you look at her. Everything's stormy seas, right? It's dark, it's foreboding, there's angry words maybe, passionate energies being released. But we don't have a light. That's just the light on here. Even the sun is darkened. So it's like, wow, you know, it might be really, really feeling dark and foreboding. However, look at the number. It's 10. It's actually a gateway. Spirit's actually saying there's a gateway and we want you to walk through it. So like the song that's talking about in the background, they're facing this and they're leaving this situation. So maybe there's an opportunity to leave something right now. Whatever it is, she's aware, she's floating in it, but she's not affected by it. She's not getting involved in it. It's all around her, right? She's not trying to force, she's not paddling, she's not doing anything, because at this time, this has to come out. She's watching. Remember we were told yesterday to be vigilant. So right now, you're vigilant, you're watching, you're observing. You know that this chaos is moving around you, just like we were shown yesterday, right? You can't do anything right now. Maybe, remember I said before, sometimes you're a part of someone else's story, right? So when it comes into your life, you recognize that this is going to be affecting your life, this situation. There's going to be a shift, and you need to get ready. We were told yesterday, be vigilant, be on the guard, be aware of what's going on, but wait. Remember the hummingbird came forward and said, okay, you're going to get the information you need, but for right now, you need to wait and observe and watch. So be careful. They're telling you right now, pay attention to your dreams. You may be getting things in your dreams. We got that yesterday that are going to be giving you experiences. You may have flashes of a clairvoyant experience, like you may find yourself remote viewing. You may see a vision just in your mind's eye. You may hear something. Like I have all of those things happen. I'll hear things. I'll see things. I'll remote view. They want you right now to be careful about the internet. The internet, yesterday, I got to tell you something that happened. As I go along in my life and I'm trying to figure things out, I would send myself messages on my Facebook, right? All my notes, basically. And I had a whole, years worth of stuff saved up. I was talking to my girlfriend Caitlin last night, and we had gone and looked at one of the things that were there. And then I went and sat down on the bed, and I was talking to her, and I went to check something again. I said, well, here, I'll show you what I found. And I went to pull up my messages, and they were all gone. Everything that I had recorded was gone. And I'm like, what? And she goes, are you sure you didn't do it? And I said, no, it's impossible for me to have done it. I can't erase them from my cell phone. It can only be done on my computer, and I didn't do it. Just like, remember I told you I was locked out of my my original email, and 25 years of my life and all of my dreams and everything that I had recorded, I can't get a hold of. I'm locked out of it. Someone else did it. Someone else went in and hacked my site and changed everything, and I can't get back in. So, but when I asked last night, who did this? I heard in my head 3 times, God. And I'm like, what? And I felt like, wow. She goes, I'm so sorry. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe you lost everything. I'm so sorry. But it was kind of like with my storage unit. I lost a lot of things, and I was like, oh my God, I lost. But Spirit didn't want me to hold on to the past. So whatever I had been compiling in this list was pretty much me trying to figure out what has happened over the last several years. And there was probably a lot of negative energy in there. And there may have been things that were wrong. And when I would look at that would reinforce those thoughts into my mind, right? And as I was speaking to my friend or my client, who is a friend, yesterday, not the same person, a different one, when I did a reading last night, there was the same situation. And I said, it was meant to be released. And the more you speak about it or you look at it, you draw that energy to you. So everything that was in there, I said to her, it had to go. And I just felt like it was a release. I didn't feel a negative. So that's the internet. Be aware of the internet. Sometimes you don't want to have things. Maybe it wasn't safe for me to have those things there. Maybe it wasn't safe for the person that I was keeping the notes about, or that I was trying to figure things out about this person. Maybe that would have hurt that person, because the internet, they own everything you have there. So I thought, you know what, you're right. I'm not going to keep anything there. I'm going to remove it. So it's gone. It's good. It's good that it's gone. Everything's been removed. They're telling you to pay attention and be aware of gossip. Don't pay attention, like don't get into it, but pay attention to people who are gossiping. Stay away from that. Things that are on the internet that are negative, things that are on the internet that are leading you into areas that are taking up your time, that are time consuming, mind consuming, sad, negative things. Remove that from your. Like me, I'm looking at things that are exciting to me, things that are helpful for me. In directions that I want to go. Anything that will be helpful or fun or spiritually enlightening, that's the kind of stuff that I will have on my internet. Don't send me things about, people torturing animals. Don't send me things about people being tortured. Don't send me that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. Doesn't help me. Doesn't help anyone. Also, they're telling you to pay attention to the foods that you eat and who you pay attention, who you spend your time with. Same kind of thing as on the internet. On the internet, you may not know people, but you spend a lot of time with them. So they may be people that you wouldn't socialize with in real life. And if you're not socializing with these people in real life, don't socialize with them on the internet. I saw a message yesterday, and I put it up, and then I deleted it. It said a Catholic, a Jew, a Muslim, a Jehovah's Witness, an agnostic, and an atheist all got together, and they all went out, and they went to a restaurant and had dinner together. And that's what you can do when you're not being an asshole. And at first I thought, yeah. And then I thought, no. You know what? I've got friends. I have acquaintances. Let's put it that way. I have acquaintances of all different types. People that are religious, people that don't believe in God, people that are Muslim. I do. I have all of these, but I don't socialize with them on a personal basis because we don't have the same lifestyle beliefs. We don't. I allow you to believe whatever it is that you wish to believe. But that's not the way I believe. So like my son, he doesn't associate with me. He's a Jehovah's Witness. He doesn't hang out with me. Now, you don't have to completely cut somebody out of your life. Like I said to him, I understand, we have completely conflicting ways of looking at life, right? And belief systems. He's very religious and I am not. I'm very spiritual. So I would say I would keep people like that, I wouldn't cut him out of my life. But I wouldn't be hanging out with him on a day in, day out basis because we'd be butting heads. It just makes sense. It doesn't make sense that you would be able to be hanging out with somebody. Like, I'm not going to hang out with people that are hunters. I'm sorry. I will never be okay with that. That would upset me. So I'm not going to do it. Right? So you got to think about the people that you're associating with. Show me your friends and I will show you who you are. My daughter met a friend, somebody that she knew from the past, and that she separated from quite a while ago because she really got into drugs and doing all kinds of stuff. And she met up with her with a bunch of other people at a bridal. This girl's getting married. They were all asked to be bridesmaids, and they started to talk. And she said, the other person said, "Oh, you used to be a friend of mine." And so she said they started to talk, and she says, "Yeah, she's started talking about her lifestyle, and it was so contradictory to my daughter's life and not anything that she stands for." And she said, "I spoke my piece and it didn't go over well." She goes, "But we were very, very different." And so she says, I decided to delete her. I'm not going to associate with that because that's not what I agree with. So, it's not like it's up for you to decide what somebody should do or shouldn't do. But you need to keep yourself safe and your own belief system and stand in your own personal convictions, right? So there's all those things that come into play here. Maybe this is a good time for you to start a more healthy way of eating, a more healthy lifestyle as far as exercising. I told you my body started getting shot to hell when Lily got sick, and I'm still suffering from it. And so I drop and do 20 every time I think about it. 20 push-ups, and then I do 20 sit-ups, and then I just keep doing it. I'm watching what I'm eating. It's about doing it and building myself back up again till I can get to the place where I was feeling good about myself, because I'm not. I didn't treat my body with the respect that it was due, and I'm taking care of that again. So it's about reducing addictions that are not healthy: cigarettes, drinking, too much sugar, too much bread, right? Overeating, I just saw Overeating Anonymous. That's me. So emotional eating, address these addictions. Whatever it is, there's also shifts going on outside in our world. We've got energetic shifts. I mean, come on, we've got fires everywhere. We've got hurricanes, and we've got all that going on. And you can't do anything with that, right? But you can take that energy and use it. When that rain came, I used the rain. I imagined myself cleansing and washing away what's no longer needed. When their fires are there, it's burning away what is no longer necessary. I also use my own personal energy, which I have very powerful energy, to see myself dissipating the rains and putting the fires out by moving the rains over to where the fires are. We can do that. We can energetically move energy in the right direction, right? You can also do this emotionally. You can move your energy in a positive direction. I'm a Reiki healer. I can send Reiki healing long distance to the ones that I love. I did that with Lily. I literally know that I saved Lily's life along with Spirit by that Reiki healing. The doctors don't know how she did it. Also with my holistic foods and medicines that I gave her myself. Instead of doing the Western medicine, I got holistic food and holistic natural herbs. And I gave her that and fed her myself. And now she's freaking healthy. You guys, her old matted up hair that I couldn't get away from her chest, it's starting to pull away, and her new fluffy hair is growing. She's growing stronger because she was Reiki healed and holistically healed. Had nothing to do with Western medicine at all. I spent $1,000 at vet bills that did nothing to help her. So there's that. Now, with the changes that are happening, whatever that's going on that you can't control, it can be overwhelming, right? The first thing you want to do is fight it, but you can't. You can't fight that, right? You have to allow things to happen. So as this eclipse moves through your life, you've got to, now the song playing right now, Umbrella, it's raining. This is what I said to my twin. It's raining. I said I would be a friend. I took a vow. I said I'd stick it out to the end. And it's raining now, so come under my umbrella. Right? So maybe that's what's happening right now. We were shown that a male was going to come forward and a female was going to come forward as an ally, and they were going to help one another out. So maybe that's what's going on right now with the shifts that are going on. Maybe someone is going through a really hard time, and you're going to help them. You're going to be a shelter from their storm. If maybe an emotional storm, right? A family situation, whatever it is. It may be that they have been in physical ill health and they need your help. Right now, I'll be all you need and more. I love this song. When the sun shines, we'll shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be a friend. Took an oath. Gonna stick it out to the end. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. Okay? I took a vow and I stand by it. I told my friend I'd be there forever, and I'm here. He just needs to come. So This could be, as I said, a deeply emotional, energetic shift that's taking place. Could be a time of scandals being revealed, truths coming to light. Remember, we were shown that there's somebody that's stumbling over their words. They can't figure out what to say. They need to say something, but they're not sure how to say it. And Spirit says, just go ahead and speak your truth. It's going to be better than you understand. It's best to get it off your chest. So at this time, it could be that maybe this is why someone's coming to you, because they've realized the truth of something, and it's pretty gnarly, and they need your help, right? At this time, you may feel the urge to change things about yourself, right? Where you live, your job, the way you dress, the way you express yourself. This is all about changing. And I'm getting total prickles in my fingers as I say this. Maybe the classes you take, as I said, maybe the people that you were hanging out with, you realize are not on your highest good as far as your particular soul's journey. So you're changing the direction that your life was in, and you're moving in a different direction. And if you move along on your soul's path in the direction that is in your highest good, things will go well for you. Even if it does feel like it's disruptive and chaotic. I have to move. I've got to figure out where I'm going. It is chaotic. It is disruptive. But it's going to be in my highest good if I go where I'm meant to go. If I stick to my path, which is my spiritual path. No matter what comes, I will stick to where I can do my spiritual work. That's what's important to me. So if you've got your feet planted on your soul's path, even though it's disruptive and maybe very, very chaotic and tumultuous, it will be very exciting and very, very surprising for you, because it's going to bring you closer to who you truly are and what is in your highest good. But right now, there's no use fighting it, because it will not do you any good. Song right now, she said, take me back to my place. Okay, correct for neutrality on all levels. One more. I love this deck. I really do. We're going to split it and take from the top. All right. This is cool. So you've come up with a great idea. I'm wondering if this has to do with my living in a motorhome. I mean, like an old school bus. I freaking love that idea. There's a lot of room in a school bus, and I could drive a school bus. You don't need to have a special license for that, right? And there's so much storage underneath in a school bus. They've got all that storage where people would throw the luggage, right? That's like, God, I never thought about that. In a motorhome, you don't have as much storage as you do in a school bus. So that's what I'm thinking of. Because look at the wheels are going. The wheels are turning and there's a light bulb on. Thinking. All the gears are grinding. So you've got a wonderful idea that's happening here, right? This is an aha moment. The lights come on. This could be me. Look at my hair. That's my hair. That's me standing there. So this is telling me this is a good idea. So they're telling you that action's got to be taken. No more procrastinating, right? While the idea is fresh and new. Follow the idea with action. So they're talking about, doing like what I'm doing. I'm researching. I'm looking everywhere. I'm looking at, okay, well, if I got it and it looks like this, maybe I don't have to get something that's totally done, but something that's got like the basic bare bones. And I could, if it's not the right color, I could paint it. I could sand it. I could do this. I don't like that seat. I could take that out and bring my one leather love seat that I love and stick it in there instead. Because there's a few things. I was looking around my house. And I'm looking around and I thought, in a school bus, I can have my fish tanks. One of the school buses had a clawfoot tub. I could bring that dresser. So somebody said, if you had to minimize, what would you bring? I would bring my fish tanks, my dresser, this couch, probably that cabinet, and this screen could be a separation, a divider, right? And then the different little knickknacks or whatever that mean things to me. So that's just me putting that out there. And I'm going to look back at this later and I'll think of things. But what I'm doing is I'm researching. I'm looking at all the different things and all the different people that are living this life. Living in a tiny house, school life bus, all of these different people that are doing what I'm thinking about and how they do it. What different ways are they? What different ways do they have ideas? How could they do this and that would make what I want to do and something that's feasible, something that's realistic, right? And how do you do that? You do that by researching. So for your idea, your project, whatever it is, you've got a light bulb idea. What do you need to do in order to make this a reality? It's about moving forward now. It's about taking action in your own life. It's using your creativity, right? And this is what's interesting. This is what I'm getting to. Look at this pumpkin. It's weird to have a pumpkin with gears inside and a light inside. Well, think about that pumpkin. Peter Pumpkin Eater lived in a pumpkin shell, right? So I'm thinking this as my bus, and then the gears going around. So you look at the outside of it, and you're thinking that's really weird, you know. But that school bus is now going to be a home, and there's everything going in. So it looks weird from maybe for somebody else looking at that. You're thinking, okay, that's a school bus. No, it's not. That's my house, right? It's an idea. It's you're going to be presented with some kind of an idea, and it's a good idea, and it might come from you, it might come from somewhere else. Somebody, maybe I'm giving you an idea, but you're going to be drawn to it, right? It's going to give you inspiration. It's time to be using your own brilliant thoughts and ideas. I've got my own ideas. I saw that one bus that I really like, the Wolf Wagon. It's all wood and it's beautiful. It would look good with my dark wood, right? And the colors. But then I saw another bus that's all painted white and light and airy. And you're thinking, if you've got a very small space, if it's painted light inside, it makes it bigger and brighter. And it was beautiful. This desk, I could put this desk in there as a counter, right? You can improvise and bring in what you have. So this is about using your ideas and meshing ideas with others. So whatever plan or business idea that you've got, or something that you're thinking about, you're looking at the way other people do it, and you're thinking, you know, I could take a little bit of that, and I could little bit of that. And together you blend all of these ideas and you come up with an idea for yourself that would be really, really amazing, right? So this is one of those aha times. It's going to be giving you a gift. It's going to be a vision. It's an epiphany. Whatever it is, it's in its time. The time is now. And it's about you bringing it to life. It's about you taking the steps. And just like the clockwork, everything's going in order. I had a client this morning, and she said, you know, she's got all these bills, and she said, I went to see if I could, you know, get a loan to consolidate, and I'm a little bit concerned, and I got that, yeah, it was a good idea that she should do that, because it would be everything put into one payment instead of a bunch of different payments, which you're paying a lot of interest on. So it was everything into one. I don't have any payments. I have no bills, but I've got excellent credit, and I could get a loan to get this going, right? And I could just make payments for the first time in my life. I don't like the idea of making payments. I've never made payments before on anything, except for, I guess, my house. I guess I did that. And see, this could be my new house. So maybe that's what I need to do, is I've got a $10,000 line of credit. I could take it out and start doing this. So all of these things came to me because she did that, right? She goes, I applied and I was approved immediately. I know I would be approved immediately because I've got excellent credit. So whatever it is, there's a brilliant solution to a problem that you have, and it's ingenious. So, and what's interesting is that the light bulb, Thomas Edison, he was trying to invent something else, and he invented that. So you may be looking at and trying to do one thing, and all of a sudden something else comes to you. So I was thinking about a motorhome, and then I saw the buses, and then I thought, you know, I don't know, one thing leads you to another. So that's the message. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to listen to myself later and hear my own messages. I get really excited. Because when I do this, I know what I'm saying, I think what I'm hearing as I'm talking, but a lot of times my higher self is speaking and my mind's somewhere else, and I listen to my messages afterwards, and I hear other things, and it's like, oh, that was such a good idea, you know? Why am I shuffling again? There's one more that wants to talk? Okay, but it's got to be brief. I just got a message. Growing up means realizing that a lot of your friends aren't really your friends. So I'm thinking about that eclipse energy and moving away from where you're at. And we talked about this yesterday, my friend and I, who is a friend of mine. And we were talking about, you know, all these different people. And I said, I really don't have any friends in California. You know, I've got like 2. And she says, yeah, but you know what? You want one or two. You look at people all going in parties and there's all these groups of people, but how many of those people are really truly their friend, that no matter what happens you could count on that person and they would be there in a heartbeat, drop anything to be there to help you? There are some people that have a group like that, but mostly people don't. You're very, very fortunate if you have 1 or 2, possibly 3 really, really good friends that you know are there for you. And I have that, and I'm lucky. But a lot of those people, they're just acquaintances. And when you get right down to it, are you expending your energy with people that are acquaintances that really are not in your highest good? Maybe you have realized that by your spiritual path, and you've grown and you've realized, you know what? These people that I've been hanging out with, they're not my friends. When the shit hits the fan, they're nowhere to be found. They're there when things are going good, and I can get them into parties, and I can, you know, I can pick them up in my BMW. I'm thinking about that. I keep hearing the BMW commercial, you know? And the song that's playing right now, you just want attention. You don't want my heart. So this is somebody who just wants what they can get. They're not caring about the person as a real friend. And they're recognizing that. You just want attention. Wow, and this is the message. And Mildew Fairy backing it up. So these two I'm putting together because they are combined. So this is what's going on. The song is saying, I'm just protecting my innocence. I'm just protecting my soul. I'm never going to let you close to me. Because they've recognized that this one is not my friend. This one is draining me. This one has invaded my boundaries. This one is violating me, dominating me. This one is taking from me. There's been all of this negative emotion that's been hanging around because of this situation. And this song is saying, you might think that I'm mean, you might think that I'm cruel, but I will never let you click close to me. Every time you leave, I cry less. Right? Every time you leave, the quicker my tears dry. I'm recognizing who you are. You are a friend that is a fair weather friend. You're not there for me. You never have really been there for me. Whenever I've needed you, you've cut out and run or been not available, or you've only been there to take from me like this one, because that's what's going on here. There's death, destruction lying over top of this one who doesn't feel, she's naked, she's vulnerable, exposed, or he doesn't know how to protect herself from this one, or maybe is not, maybe you won't realize until this reading, this is what's going on in my life. You don't realize how that presence is affecting you, that the pooling of this negative emotion that's been stuffed inside of me, this sadness that I've been holding on to, is because of this one in my life. I'm back upping that you see them both. Maybe you didn't realize. And so maybe this song is helping you realize, you know, if this is a family member or a friend that you've known since, you know, someone that you thought was a friend, you've grown up and realized that they aren't really your friend, right? And now you realize it's time for me to pull away, and the person's like, what? You know, that, you know, thinks that, you know, trying to make it feel like there's something wrong with you. When no, in fact, I had a client this morning, and the guy, they're having sex, but he won't define their relationship, you know, and he goes and does things all the time and never invites her. It's his birthday, and he doesn't say anything to her, and he takes somebody else, posts pictures with some other older woman that he's gone with, and she's like, what the heck? And I said, you know what, make your own plans and go out. And so she did. So then at the last moment, he texts her and he says, it's my birthday, you know, you want to come, you can, you know, so you can show up if you want. And he had all these other people going. And she says, what do I do? And I said, no, you're not an afterthought. You're not one of the guys. You know, that's not the way it goes. So I said, what did you have plans? And she said, yes, I had plans. And I said, then you go out and you have a great time. But you don't have to be nasty, because she is trying to work this relationship out with this person and get him to understand. And she said, you know what? No, thank you. I've already got plans, but have a good time. And so she went and did her thing. He went and did his thing. And then first thing this morning, she gets a message from him saying, you know, you have a problem. You know, you need to act a little bit differently. And I said to her, wrong. He's clearly coming after you because he realizes you weren't there, and you recognized, you know, he was just pulling from you and he wasn't giving anything back. That may be the situation. This person's taking from you and not giving anything back. So she stood her ground and said, look, I know my self-worth. I'm not one of your, you know, buddies. You were having sex with me. I'm not, and you're not anymore going to be doing this. I'm not allowing you to take from me anymore without giving anything back. And she recognized her self-worth, and believe me, he's sweating blood right now. He is. He's like all over her. And I said, good, you hold your ground and you let him know. You know, I know my self-worth. This person wants, you know, this one is cold. This one wants this one's warmth. This one wants this one's light. This one has not done their work. This one is on their spiritual path. They're doing their job. They're a decent, good person. They are a light. And the ones who don't do their work are always drawn to the light. They want, because they don't want to have to do it themselves. They're lazy. It's like that message that I was given in my dream so long ago. Big dogs ride for free. Fuck you. Big dogs don't ride on my back. So just like that song, they're saying, I'm out. I'm not doing this. You can hover over. You're not welcome. I'm leaving. If you think that I'm being mean, whatever's going on, there's a very out of balance relationship that's happening here. One is taking too much, or is it you? Pay attention. Are you doing this? This is about self-awareness, right? Are you draining someone? Are you asking for someone's light? Are you leaning on someone and giving nothing back and expecting them always to be there for you? Just like that guy. I know he loves her, but he's afraid. He's afraid of commitment. He wants her there, but he doesn't want to give up his freedom. And yet he realized, shoot, he had his freedom and he wanted her there. So think about this. Are you expecting something from somebody constantly, and never giving back? She's been open. She's been vulnerable. She's exposed herself to you, and all you've done is taken and not given anything back, right? So this is somebody who's draining. This is somebody who's claiming that they love you, just like that guy. This is a dramatic up and down. This is what is that song? Eminem song with Rihanna. You know, I love the way you lie, or you know, or the one where he says, they fight and he beats her up, and then she comes back. It's like a totally dysfunctional relationship. It's like, I don't want anything to do with that. Thank you very much. I don't want the highs and lows. Some people get off on the chase, right? Chasing and a cat and mouse game. I do not. Right? It's draining. It's tiring. And this one has discovered, I don't want this anymore. This is not working for me. I don't want to carry this emotion, this sadness inside of me and try and stuff it. It's making me sick. It's physically all of this sadness that I've been crying, all of these tears because of this situation that I've been holding on to have literally made me sick. It can literally make you sick. You're suffering from anxiety. You're suffering from depression, and you don't know why. It's because of this out of balance situation that you've allowed to go on in your life. Whether this is a family or what you thought was a friend, it's wrong. So you need to give yourself respect. Assess this situation. Take steps. Move away. Be more protected. Do not try to convince this one that what they're doing is wrong, because they will tell you that what you've done is wrong. Like the guy that today said to her, you need to learn how to act a little bit, differently. No, you need to learn how to respect your girlfriend and recognize that she is a girlfriend. And if she's not, you need to go somewhere else, because she's not doing the friends with benefits thing. And if you try and tell them what they're doing wrong, they're going to just cling to you harder. Or they'll flip it and they'll try and be charming and suck you back in, right? This is the narcissist and the empathic relationship. So you need to do whatever you need to do to separate from them, because they are vindictive, they are malicious, they will be nasty. When you pull away, when you don't give them what they want, it's about freedom, man. This is about ripping yourself away. We were shown chaotic shit going on Saturday. What was it? Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, things up in the air. But Wednesday and Thursday, the two come together. Something's fulfilled. They move forward. Maybe that's what needs to happen at this time. Your freedom is definitely worth the trial of separating. Take steps. Take a look at the situation. Is this healthy for me, or am I getting sick from this relationship? Am I suffering from anxiety, from depression, from low self-esteem, from self-worth that's in the fucking toilet? Then take a separation. Now, this might be something that has to be, it's a trial separation. Maybe you just need to separate to allow somebody, or step back, pull away from somebody, stop communicating with somebody, so that they realize, you know what, things have got to change, or I'm out. I'm moving on. I can do all of these things in a school bus. I can easily get a loan. Easily. My credit is pristine, and I have zero debt. So I'm moving on. I'm excited. So that was our reading, you guys. I hope you liked it. Peace, love, and light. I gotta go. Talk to you soon.